Is the Greece Golden Visa still worth it in 2026? Maybe you've been researching Greek real estate, maybe someone told you it's the best deal in Europe right now. If you're watching this, you probably already know about the Greece Golden Visa, and I'm here to give you the honest truth about it. I'm Ksenia, co-founder of Soland. We've been processing Golden Visa cases across Greece and other European countries for a long time now. And here is something most people in the industry won't tell you. For about 30% of people who contact us, Greece is the wrong choice. They'd better do Portugal or France or Spain or something else. Sometimes doing nothing at all. So here is how to figure out if you're in the 70% where Greece actually makes sense. We have active real estate projects in essence right now in every price tier, from 250,000 euro conversions all the way up. But there's what really matters. We also work with other European programs, and if Greece isn't the right fit for you, we'll tell you what is better. This is not a Greek cheerleader video. This is an honest breakdown of whether your money is smart in Greece in 2026 or whether there is something better for you to go. Let's start with why so much smart money is flooding into Greece right now. Because it is, and it's not a random. Greece economy was performing well in 2023. GDP growth has been consistently running at 2.1 to 2.3%, well above the European average. While Germany is stagnating and France is struggling with deficits, Greece is currently becoming one of the Europeans' growth stories. That's something nobody expected to say 10 years ago for sure. Tourism hit a record 22.4 billion euros in revenue in 2025. Over 35 million visitors. And it's not a pandemic rebound anymore. That story ended in 2023. What we are seeing now is structural, sustainable growth. New hotels brands and entering the market. New branded residents, senior living communities, green resorts. The hospitality investment pipeline in Greece is deeper than it's ever been. Now let's talk about properties. Essence is up over 80% since 2017, except Essence is still at 2.5 thousand euro per square meter on average. You know what? Lisbon is over 5,000 euro, Paris over 10,000 euro, London over 14 plus. Essence is still one of the last genuinely undervalued capitals in Western Europe. It's a city with world-class restaurants, amazing climate, a thriving tech scene, incredible culture, and an international airport with direct flights to everywhere. And then there is the Ellinikon. If you haven't heard of it, pay attention. It's an 8 billion euro development on the site of the end of the old Athens airport, the largest urban regeneration project in Europe. It contains luxury residence, marina, commercial space and parks, beach line. It's going to completely transform the South Athens coastline. Projects like this didn't just lift property values in the immediate area. They lift entire districts for decades. And we have projects which are super nearby of this Ellinikon to offer to Golden Visa investors. Here is another number that we can mention. Foreign direct investments in Greek real estate was 153 million euro in 2015, but 2022 it was nearly 2 billion euro. That's not individual investors buying apartments. That's institutional capital, funds, family offices, REITs, and they all believe that Greece is the play. When institutionals move in that scale, it's usually a leading indicator. Golden Visa demand is evolving. Greece issued nearly 9,000 Golden Visa residence permits, which almost doubled the number from the previous year. However, also it's important to understand that much of this increase reflects the processing of large numbers of applications submitted earlier, particularly before the investment threshold were increased. What has actually changed its profile of investors entering the program. Today, applicants tend to be more strategic, better informed, and more focused on the long-term value of their investment, rather than simply obtaining residency. Entry-level projects starting from 250,000 euros still exist, but supply is becoming more limited as it's getting harder and harder for the developers to find building to convert to fulfill the requirements, and that is why well-structured projects tend to sell quickly. At the same time, depending on the location and the type of property, investment options today range from 250,000 euro to 400 and 800,000 euro. And there is one more thing that this might be the most important factor of all. The doors are closing across the whole Europe. Spain closed its golden visa in April 2025. Portugal eliminated real estate as qualifying investment back in 2023. You can still do funds, but you cannot buy property. Ireland also shut their program in 2023. UK closed its investor visa in 2022. One by one, the options are disappearing. And Greece is still one of the last real doors which is still open. And anyone who thinks it stay open forever at the current thresholds, in my opinion, being too optimistic. That's what the case, and it's wrong. Here's where I need to be honest with you, because if I only gave you the positives, I'd be no different from any other agent trying to sell you something. Let's speak about risks. Risk number one, and it's a big one, regulatory unpredictability. Greece has changed the golden visa rules 3 times for the 3 years. It was first to 50,000 euro everywhere, then they introduced the tiered system, then they tweaked it again. What 800,000 euro today could be 1 million tomorrow. There is already talks in policy circles about further tightening by 2028, and that uncertainty actually cuts both ways. And is the reason they act now rather than wait. But it's also a reason to understand that the program you're buying into today might look different in 5 years. That's why you should go in with your eyes open. Risk number 2 is that Greece is not a tax haven. I need to be very clear about this because I see some people are confusing residency with tax residency. And if you get a golden visa and you never live in Greece or don't spend sufficient time there, you don't pay income taxes in Greece. But if you start spending more than 183 days a year there or put your life interest, you can become Greek tax resident and you will be taxed by progressive income tax up to 44%. It's important that there is a non-domicile regime in Greece with a flat 100,000 euro per year on worldwide foreign income, which can be fixed for 15 years. But also that only makes sense if you are earning over 500,000 euro or more. But of course, tax planning purposes, you need to consider detailed and do detailed comparison of all the options, and there are other European and global countries with tax structure opportunities. We will go deeper into this with our future comparison videos, so you can watch in our channel, subscribe to know more. Risk number 3, and it's bureaucracy. Greece has digitalized a lot. The golden visa process itself has actually gotten much faster, like 3 to 6 months, maybe 8 months today, which is great. But still, notary process, land register, municipality approvals, this is still Greece, and it can be prolonging, especially if you're buying remotely. So it's important to have good lawyers on the ground, and you need someone handling the power of attorney properly. They deal with this every day, and even with experience, things take sometimes longer than they should. Risk number 4. Property market could cool. 80% appreciation, which we saw, it's incredible, and it also means a lot of easy gains have already been captured. Forecasts for 4 to 6% annual growth through 2026 and 2027 are still solid and still better than some other European markets. But please don't expect another huge increase. If tourism has a bad year or geopolitical event, another pandemic, whatever, island resort properties values in particular are exposed because they are so much dependent on seasonal visitors' traffic. Risk number 5 is that you are locked in. You must hold the property to keep your residency permit. If your financial situation changes and you suddenly need that 400 or 800 or 250,000 euro back, you can't just sell and walk away. You can lose your residency this way. Unless you immediately replace your property with another qualified one at the same threshold, you can lose your residency. That's the real hassle that people don't think about enough before they commit. Okay, so both sides. Let's do the comparison with, I think, most people in the industry do not really care or offer. And we need to know between what alternatives clients have. So let's compare with some other options. Greece versus Portugal. Portugal eliminated real estate from their golden visa program, and the fund route still exists at 500,000 euro. But you're buying shares in a fund. You don't own real backed up assets. Also, Portugal is extending the citizenship timeline, potentially up to 10 years now instead of 5, which is cutting the main advantage of this program. Greece gives you a real tangible asset that generates rental income. For someone who wants to actually own something, especially square meters, Greece is clearly ahead now. Greece versus Spain. Well, Spain made it easy. They closed their golden visa entirely in April 2025. So the comparison is over here. And we don't even have to mention that Spain minimum threshold was twice as high, starting from 500,000 euros. By the way, the reason why Spain closed their program is the housing affordability pressure from local residents. And actually, the same political forces exist in Greece, which is another reason not to assume the program will last forever at the current terms. And finally, Greece versus doing nothing. And honestly, I think this is the comparison most people should be making. Because the biggest risk isn't buying in Greece, it's waiting. Every program that's closed in the last 4 years closed with minimum warning. Spain gave just a few months. Portugal gave a bit more, but still nobody got like 5-year heads up. If you need a plan B for your family and you keep waiting for the perfect time, you might wake up one morning and find the door has been shut. Let's discuss who should actually do this. Let me give you 3 profiles so you can see if you match your current situation. You're a yes if you're from a country where political or economical instability makes you want a safe European residency card for your family. You have to 50,000 up to 800,000 euro available, and you want a tangible asset, not a paper investment. You value Schengen access, visa-free travel across 26 European countries. You're thinking 5 to 10 year hold, not a quick flip, and you love the idea of zero stay requirement, the permit that sits in your back pocket until you need it, which is amazing. You're a maybe if you're a business owner pulling significant passive income, and you might benefit from a country with a favorable tax structure first, then aid in Greece on top as a separate property play. Or you're exploring plan B options, but you are not sure if Europe is the right direction or other paths that are faster and give you a passport directly. These are the real consideration, and we work with them, with clients every day as well. And you're a no if you need your capital back in the next 2 or 3 years, or you are planning to Airbnb your property. I covered these details in my rental yield video before, but shortly to mention again, it's legal for golden visa projects. There is a 50,000 euro fine if you do short-term rental, and it can also revoke your permit. Or you are buying purely for citizenship and you won't actually live in Greece for the 7 years which is required. Most golden visa holders never pursue a citizenship. Be honest with yourself about that, and if someone is pressuring you into 800,000 essence purchase when there is also a to 50,000 euro conversion way, which will give you the identical residence card, that's an agent optimizing their commissions, not your outcome. Now, I've been talking theory. Let me tell you what we are actually doing in reality. We have these 250 conversion projects across the Essence right now. It's Piraeus, Kalanaki, Kypseli, Peristeri, and one in Aegina Island. There are also commercial to resident conversions that qualify for golden visa at the 250,000 euro threshold. In essence, not in the middle of nowhere. And it's the actual capital in neighborhoods with generally in demand. Managed by professional management companies with guaranteed returns. Sometimes documents are ready to initiate the golden visa process immediately. But the point I want to make here is we are not just talking about this market. We have real inventory, and several of these projects have 2-3 units remaining, so very low stock. And I'm not saying that to pressure you. I'm saying it because it's while you're watching this later in 2026 and something mentioned is sold out, that's the reason why. Let me leave you with the honest take that I think most people in the industry won't give you. The Greece Golden Visa at 800,000 euro is no longer an investment program. At that price, it's a lifestyle purchase, and it's for people who just want to own premium Essence real estate assets like in Kolonaki, Essence Riviera and other premium locations. And that's a perfectly valid choice. Essence is incredible. The market is growing and the food alone is worth the visit. But if you're buying purely for the residency and you don't actually care about living in a specific premium neighborhood, you're overpaying. The 250,000 euro route gives you the identical permit, same card, same Schengen access, same 5-year renewal, same family coverage. And the difference is €500,000 sitting in your bank account instead of in developers. I break down the zones in detail in another video, and you can find it in our channel. We process cases in every tier, 250, 400, 800 and everything. And we always tell you which one actually makes sense for your specific situation, not ours. So, is Greece Golden Visa still worth it in 2026? For the right investors with the right expectations, in the right price point, yes. It's one of the last doors opened in Europe, and the property fundamentals are strong. The 250,000 euro conversion and even not 800,000 headline number that the industry loves to market. We do private strategy sessions where we map up exactly which program and which investment structure fits based on your nationality, your income, your family, and what you're actually trying to accomplish. We work with investors who have a minimum 250,000 euro budget and are serious about starting the process within the next 3 to 6 months. But the right price point is key, and for most people that is, if that is you, there is a link below to book a consultation. Watch the other videos in the series of the deep dives, the zone breakdowns, the rental yield reality, and the country comparison videos, which are linked below. Subscribe if you want more of this kind of real talk about residency and investments, not the polished marketing version, the real version. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next ones.